I think GM radio is like really staticky.
I am not using radio.
Okay,
no,
there
you're
it goes.
good.
That's
No,
better.
you're good. No worries.
That's better, yeah.
I don't know if my thing was too hard. So, what I believe someone told me this is a remake of the Arma 1 map. I was wondering what changes did you want to have from Arma 1 to this version of this map?
So basically the goal was very similar as with Everon. So take the basic structure, basic topology and make it like it's 2025, not 2001. We took a look at where we could find an interesting real-life counterpart. Then we kind of explored the ways to make it truly barren, northern, cold, and proper Soviet military training area.
I played some of the campaign. I saw that there was face paint in the campaign. Is that going to be a possible option to have in multiplayer as well?
So right now you can only check it in this build only in the single player campaign, but we plan it to have it enabled by default on all the special forces unit, which you can spawn in conflict or in GM. Yet we're not planning any item that would allow you to apply the camouflage whenever you want. It will be linked with the special forces loadouts.
Yeah, so are we gonna see more like improvements in the experimental towards this map's conflict mode? Because I feel like the points are a bit too far away from each other. So, because there's like mountains and stuff, it's really hard to on a 48-player server to see people and to get moving, you know.
Yeah, that's a very good feedback. I think it's that's why we also want to have it on experimental for everyone, so this feedback will flow in. I think the spaces between bases are actually also for you to find good position to establish the bases, right? So we have more space to be more creative, but probably it also takes longer. I think it's not that big of an issue, but we will observe the feedback as it comes through.
I think if we played the session like a bit longer, I think people would have been able to see the image a bit more, because we were like starting to establish some bases, and then there would have been like that dynamic front line. It was slowly building like right now, but just as the game ended essentially. So I think in longer games you'll definitely be able to see the image that you guys are trying to hold.
I have a random question. If, let's say, 8 hours has passed by in a game, what is y'all's ideal image? Like, how would you like the war? Obviously, war can be fluid, but how would you like a version of it to play out?
I'm not sure if I get the question, though. We want to have long sessions, right? And we want to have a creativeness, a freedom of creation, establishing bases, and how you want to play is kind of up to you. Like, that's why we have a commander, that's why we have squads, we have all the tools. I don't know if I even have a strong opinion on how it should look like. I think that's part of the social experiment which we are running here. How could it look like?
By long, like how long do you mean long? Like, because a lot of people would say the games can last so long now, it's somewhat like a persistent war. Is that something that's in your vision?
Yeah, definitely the word persistent is cool, right? It's nice to know that you can come back next day and continue your efforts.
Yeah,
a lot of things in the game kind of support that, ranking, XP, you know, building everything. The persistency would be good.
So what's the main behaviors you're trying to encourage with the latest changes to conflict?
Organization, coordination. We want the US and Soviet sides to try to be actual, you know, work as an army or work as a units. So those are tools that we are bringing, hoping that it will happen. But it's still up to players, right? There is a lot of freedom, and there may be, you know, people trying different tactics. So I'm also curious how people will use it on a big scale, unstable.
What was the reason for choosing Koklyev over any of the other original maps? Arma 1 map, basically. So, but why, you know, what was the thinking process behind that?
We have chosen Koklyev partly because we originally expected that it could be a quick work, relatively. So we could use the assets from Everon, which has happened. It's Autumn Island, it comes with a plethora of new structures, completely new locations, Soviet military towns and bases, and actually some new vegetation species. So In the end, it felt easier. Eventually, we succeeded in making it reasonably different from everyone still.
Will we have some form of device to be able to see the strength of the wind and the direction?
No, actually, device is not planned, and here you go. That may be a controversial decision for you, but we wanted to have snipers, especially like people like Druski, you know, a bit nerfed. So that's why there is no device. But you can look at the wind. You can observe the clouds. You can observe the grass, vegetation, smoke, and also flags.
So a couple of days ago, Tholdrin put a comment on one of my videos saying that you guys are currently coming up with some ideas about changes to the radio spawn system, more backpacks I'm referring to. What kind of ideas have you guys got planned for those changes?
We are analyzing it from different angles. It's about behavior, it's about squad cohesion, it's about having this overpowered or not. Like, there were multiple iterations already, so I can't really say what we'll end up with.
How full will whole task support? Well, how full will that look like? Will we be able to just plug in pedals, joysticks, and other things to just work, or are those going to be mods that we maybe need to look into?
So right now it was deployed for a few weeks on 1.5. Lots of people were able to create mods with particular devices, you know, bindings. We are working on technology which will allow you to easier bind your particular device, but also we want to bring profiles for most common ones. So it is still being expanded, but kind of expect that you will be able to use your device and configure it for yourself.
Are there plans for changing to any of the flight models with Arma Reforger in terms of maybe advanced steering, kind of similar to Arma 3, or is that more future for Arma 4?
There are no plans for expansion of the helicopter simulation model. Definitely we are not bringing the advanced helicopter from Arma 3. We may have some tweaks here and there to how it behaves. For example, you know, Arma Pilot J-hooks needs to be nerfed as well.
Koklev has a lot of open areas, as we saw down this fighting down this hill. There's a lot of like open spaces, trenches, things like that. How do you envision, you know, this big open space to be played?
We actually wanted to put as many obstacles between those vantage points. For example, the one on which we are standing. The terrain is very suitable for observation from the top. On the other hand, it's taiga and tundra, so there's a lot of vegetation, a lot of cover, and a lot of negative space below rocks. Definitely there's a lot of high ground from which you can control the places below.
Will we see a new roadmap, because the old one is ending soon?
That's a very popular internal joke, actually. Well, it is not decided.
Any plans for AI flying helicopters?
Can't comment.
Okay, mate.
We got him!
Mr. Connor, I got a question for you.
That means it's coming, boys. Confirmed.
Will you guys be updating the cinematic timeline docs and tutorial video?
That's also a good question, but I don't know the answer. I hope yes, because docs should be always updated, right?
Yeah, they should. I just know that the video is vastly outdated as of right now.
Ivan, tell Vladimir to update the docs, thanks.
Someone asked, can you create something dedicated to specific vehicle crews? And also, is there any going to be changes to the caps to the number of people in each group?
So I cannot say as for specific design decisions at the moment. This is going to be considered as the feedback flows. And especially like the sizes of squads are easy to change. So we can play with this different sizes fairly easy. You know, write feedback. The more you write, the more we read, the higher the chance that's going to happen.
Will we see dynamic not main bases, but purple bases in HQC?
I don't think that's planned, mostly because the way it's configured, I think it's actually predetermined already on like the world level. To change it into dynamic would be some amount of work for us, which we may not want to do.
So basically, with the new update, are servers still going to shut down after the game finishes, or can we wait for the countdown to be done and load right back in?
Very good question. It's a common issue which we started having in 1.5, actually maybe even earlier, and we are still working on it. Eventually, we want to go back to normal reloading of the mission at the end of the match, but we still have to kind of make it fixed, be able to enable it.
What are you all most excited about with 1.6?
Everyone playing Kolguyev, because I guess that's a fresh new thing, and there will be a lot of excitement among people to try and learn new map. I think that's the one where it's the most exciting.
When do you think that's going to happen? Everybody playing Kolguyev.
That's a very nice question.
Well crafted, I must say.
Thank you, thank you.
When it's done.
How long are we having access to this regiment beta thing?
Actually, I don't know, Niles. I think
until it's released.
I was asking, what about all the art pieces in the map? Like, where did you get them from? Is it like artwork from you guys from the studio, or is it actual art pieces from real life, or?
We cannot use any real life art directly without any permission from the author. However, in case of some of the Soviet signature items, so to speak, remade them according to the photos. Particularly those amazing instruction posters for using weapons and toilets. They were created by immensely talented Jeroen, our graphic designer and huge and avid Arma player, according to the style guys have extracted from the old Soviet posters. So we looked at the real thing, did very extensive research, and then tried to do it the way it would look as authentic as possible.
I just want to let you, we only have time for a few more questions, so we'll take a few more here. But there is a single-player campaign, and there was a question about how is this compared to like previous titles, but how does it also play into the timeline with the original Flashpoint game? Is there any like follow-up on that storyline, or is it a separate storyline in your eye?
In Reforger, we are telling a bit different story. Operation Flashpoint happened on this archipelago in 1985. Arma Reforger is set 4 years later. It's pretty modest, but we try to make each scenario unique. And of course, by doing any playable content in single player, we are training for Arma 4 and looking at the technology and the ways we would like to tell our stories. It's much shorter, as some of you have already experienced. It's focused on the infantry/special forces gameplay, so you almost walk, sneak, and shoot. There's a great deal of replayability imbued in those missions, so feel free to try to solve them different way, take different route, different loadout, start in a different location. I believe that it just gives everyone a leeway to try some different things and explore. So, hope you'll have fun.
Someone else asked something.
Yeah. Will there be destroyable bridges?
Unknown.
Is there any way that we could host our own servers? Because I know how to host a server on Reforger, but I don't know how to do it in a beta branch of Experimental. Is there any possibility we could get the ability to do that throughout the next coming weeks to whenever Kolguyev is going to launch?
We'll talk.
Right now the backend is switched, so at this moment you should be able to host the servers, but you have to use executable which is within the game. There is no like a separated server application at this moment. The full experimental release for everyone should be such soon that shouldn't be an issue. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Just one quick one. Is the experimental going to be coming out for Xbox anytime soon?
Yes, and the reason is that 1.5 we wanted to have a quicker iteration. We weren't sure about the stability, but now we know how more or less it works. 1.6 we want to have also on Xbox, just to confirm that everything is fine and working properly. Use that diagnostics data from more users. So yeah, that's the plan.
I'm supposed to ask you, why are you so handsome?
Good question.
My mom made it.
Has there been any internal discussion about changing the render distances?
Yeah, so the render distance is one thing, right? So the visual distance right now, I think, is maxed at 12 kilometers. Anyone can use that view distance for himself. But of course, there is also network streaming distance, which many of you know very well is quite low, maybe around one, maximum 1.5 kilometers. We want to improve it, but it's a work which relates to optimizing the network traffic and netcode in general. And that's a bit more complex and takes more time. So the same as with server performance and raising the player count, the same is this with the network streaming range, something which we're always working on. And when we finally have a significant improvement, then you can see it in game, or you will be able to see it in game, but I cannot say when.
I got a buddy who's wants to ask if FIA will get flushed out for at least GM.
There are some smaller issues within GM, yes, if you want to play as FIA. The best is to report the feedback, and we are looking at it whenever we can.
Earlier, somebody asked about the grand vision of conflict, and just I wanted to follow up with that and ask, do you think that this 1.6 update achieves that?
We will see, right? Only when we see it evolving on the stable servers, then we can really say, did it work, or we still have to tweak something. And we are not afraid of tweaking it further. It just may take another major update. I don't expect big changes, groundbreaking changes like this one. Yeah, that probably will happen.
And then also I just had one quick.
Someone's mic's making noise. Oh, the server crashed. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty appropriate. Yeah, now I have a real question. Why you crash? No, I'm joking.